Breed them for 10 years and make $60 million breeding one horse.
This is Pulpit. Pulpit is an 18-year-old son of AP Indy out of a Mr. Prospector mare. Pulpit is a homebred stallion solely owned by the Hancocks, born and raised here. He was a top 3-year-old in 1997, winner of the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes, winner of the Fountain of Youth, and was actually the morning line favorite in the 1997 Kentucky Derby. Unfortunately, during that race, he ended up finishing fourth. He ended up throwing a hind shoe on the back stretch, and later on after the race, we found a small chip in his knee. So he had to be retired after that Derby. He began breeding in 1998 here at the farm. Has had a stud fee of pretty much nearly $80,000 for the last 13 seasons. And so far to date, his sons and daughters have earned over $51.5 million on the racetrack. He is a sire of sires, which means his sons and his grandsons are now accomplished stallions. He is AP Indy's most successful sire son. Just truly a phenomenal success for this farm. Born and raised here, like I said. His mother, her name is Preach. She's 26 years old, already in foal for 2013. And then it was his grandmother, which is the dam of Preach. Her name was Narrate. She was 33 years old and just passed away last year. They were all 3 generations were raced by Seth Hancock. He has over 133 stakes winners, over 50 graded stakes winners, and over 16 grade 1 stakes winners. He had a horse in this year's Derby named El Padrino, pretty good 3-year-old this year, and then his grandson Hanson was in the Derby this year as well. You're more than welcome if you'd like to stand next to Pulpit, if you want to or if you just want to pet him or get your picture taken. Only thing we ask is that you just don't pet him around his head. If you want to stand by his shoulder, you're more than welcome. This is Arch. Arch is a 17-year-old son of Chris S. Arch was actually purchased at that yearling sale that I was telling you about as a yearling. The farm paid $750,000 for him. He's actually one of our youngest as well. Warfront just turned 9 this year, and he, let me bring him out here a little bit. Warfront is born and raised here. He's a homebred stallion. His mother here is one of our top brood mares. He's a son of Danzig. Warfront here started his breeding season 4 years ago for a fee of $12,500. And to kind of put it in perspective of how he's done and why he took the big jump, Pulpit, who's probably one of the most successful stallions over a career, has had 14 grade 1 and seeing out of his foals, or just really kind of set him up into their level. He had retired with about $800,000 in earnings, so he had a very good career as a racehorse. He was a grade 2 winner, but where he's leaving his mark, like I said, is in the breeding shed. I'll throw Warfront back here. I'm going to get Blame out for you next. He said, I want you to talk more about me.
I remember when Devil's Bag was in here.
Do what?
I remember when Devil's Bag was in here.
Yeah. That had your name under already.
Huh?
Your name? Nancy was here.
This is Blame. I'll stand him out here in the sun.
Yeah, right.
Well, you gotta hold something here.
Blame is the 2010 Breeders' Cup Classic champion. Every year, the Breeders' Cup Championships are the year-end championships in horse racing that determine the best horses in the country. The Breeders' Cup Classic, being the richest race in America, it's a $5 million purse, is the best 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds in the country. In 2010, one of the best horses running in that year was Zenyatta, who was undefeated, 19 wins in a row with no losses. Blame going into that race was having a very good career as well as a 4-year-old. He ended up beating Zenyatta, was the only horse to ever beat Zenyatta, won that Breeders' Cup Classic, taking home a little over $3 million in purse money. Blame retired with 14 career starts with 9 wins, a second, and 2/3, winning over $4.7 million in career earnings. He is the son of Arch. He's 6 years old. Last year was the year after he won. Here is pretty is unique because it's not only the stallions that started this farm and let it become what it is today, but it really started this whole breed. You can look in the sire list, the sire book for 2012. There's over 900 stallions here in the United States to breed to. And I went through it one day, got to almost over 800 of them, and had yet to find one that didn't trace back to one of these stallions right here in the cemetery. So they really are the founding fathers of the breed in the industry today. These stallions that are buried up here start back in the 1920s. Sir Galahad III is the first stallion buried here, born in 1920, and he's actually still one of 2 stallions. Prince Aquilo are buried side by side, as well as the sire of Secretariat Gold Ruler. You had Reva Ridge, who Mrs. Chenery owns this horse. She won the Mr. Prospector, the horse we were talking about up there. Lived to be 29 at the age of 27, sired Fussace Pegasus. Round Table is the oldest stallion down here, lives to be 33 years old. He's actively breeding at 29. Now, how we bury these horses, a lot of people are interested to know that. There's a little bit different there. Back in the day, that some of these up here were. And what kind of started that was 14 12. Prior to the 1980s,